Michelangelo Medici de Caravaggio, an artist like no other, he climbed himself all the way to the top, just to fall down, hard. And this is his story. He was born in September 1571. At the age of 6, his father and siblings died in the hands of a plague. Michelangelo and his mother moved to Milan to escape the sickness spreading like a dark wildfire. He became an apprentice underneath the famous artist Petrosano. 7 years later, his mother died. Orphaned, Caravaggio decided to join a gang of swordsmen and painters. They lived underneath the motto, Nec spec, nec metu, without hope and without fear. And Caravaggio certainly followed this. He got into a fight and injured a police officer. So this runner did what he did best. He ran. He ran to Rome, the place known best for its art, churches, and religion. Of course, being in a place of great art didn't mean he actually had any money, but he managed to get back on his feet and began assisting other artists. In 1595, Caravaggio began painting his own pictures. Right at first, this artist was different. He painted straight on the canvas without any preparation at all. He finished quickly. One of his earliest pieces was the basket of fruit. During this era, he also did a small boy peeling fruit, and boy with the basket of fruit, and the young Bacchus. This painting is called The Fortune Tellers. It became immensely popular, but Caravaggio sold it for almost nothing. The painting known as The Card Shops practically made Caravaggio an overnight celebrity. Yup, back then, artists were the real deal. It is said to be Caravaggio's first true masterpiece. It psychologically intrigued many, including one of the leading connoisseurs of Rome. He's known as Cardinal Frances Maria del Monte. He was a wealthy man and offered the artist his patronage. One of the paintings Caravaggio was asked to create was the Medusa. It was painted on a wooden shield. It seemed to look like it was 3D. In my opinion, it is one of the most realistic paintings and detailed of all. Within this patronage, Caravaggio created the lute player, the musicians, the tipsy Bacchus, and the boy bitten by a lizard. This painting was the start of Michelangelo's religious era. It represented Magdalene. It was when she has turned her life away from a courtesan. It shocked the Romans since their paintings were more lavish, but it also impressed them. Caravaggio's next paintings followed in a similar style. In 1599, the artist was rewarded with the opportunity to paint the Cantorali Chapel in the Church of San Luigi de Francesco. He painted the martyrdom of St. Matthew. It was detailed. It was like you were there in the middle of the chaos running around with the frightened observers. It was different. His other painting was named The Calling of St. Matthew, but instead of focusing on the good, it focused on the sinner. He used the same pointing hand from the creation of Adam. Instead of pointing at God, it focused on the sinner gambling. It made Caravaggio realize that he could put times in the Bible in another perspective, a darker, more human perspective, and he was named the greatest artist of Rome. Caravaggio then painted the Conversion on the way to Damascus, but it created an exchange between an exasperated saint and Caravaggio. "Why have you put a horse in the middle and St. Paul on the ground?" asked the saint. "Because," Caravaggio replied. "Is the horse God?" "No, but he stands in God's light." Caravaggio then got the commission to paint at the new Carmelite Church of St. Maria della Scala. They praised the Virgin Mary. His painting was called Death of a Virgin. The Cantorali rejected it because they viewed the Virgin Mary going off to heaven, not dying. This rejection changed Caravaggio. His temper became worse. He stuffed a waiter's face in avocados. He got into more fights. He threw stones at soldiers. And with one low move, this rebel became a murderer. Before, Caravaggio's high patrons were able to save him, but not this time. The price on his head was too high. All because of temper and attitude loss, he lost everything. So this runner ran. Caravaggio ran to the Naples, where he again was named the greatest painter of all. But then, this artist figured out that if he became a knight from Malta, he would be pardoned. So he did. But naturally, Caravaggio's temper got in the way. He got into another fight and was exiled from the order. So Caravaggio ran to Sicilia. He expressed his regrets in the painting Salome with the head of John the Baptist. Instead of being the head of John the Baptist, he put his own head. Hoping to offer it instead, he sent it to Rome. Caravaggio then created David with the head of Goliath. It was a self-portrait by him making himself the head of Goliath. In 1610, Caravaggio was dead. He was being chased by enemies, but it seemed like fever got there first.